Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it. Here is some extraordinary for you. Please watch the full video and rate this out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to challenge everything you've ever believed about pain. You've been taught to avoid it, suppress it, and run from it. But what if I told you, pain is not punishment, it's a gift. That's right, a gift. Now you might be thinking, Tony, how the hell is pain a gift? You don't know what I've been through. You're right. I don't know your story. But I know this. Pain is life's greatest teacher if you choose to listen. You see, life doesn't hand you growth wrapped in comfort. No, growth is wrapped in adversity, in heartbreak, in failure, in those dark nights when you're alone with your demons. That's where transformation begins. Pain is not there to break you. It's there to build you, but only if you stop resisting it and start receiving it. Let me ask you something. What's the greatest turning point in your life? Was it when things were easy, or was it when everything fell apart? Be honest with yourself. The moment your life changed forever was when the pain got so real, so raw, that you said, enough is enough. I'm not living like this anymore. That moment was a gift. Pain strips away the lies. It tears down the fake stories you tell yourself. It doesn't whisper, it screams, wake up. It says, this is not who you're meant to be, you're more than this. Pain doesn't show up in your life to hurt you. It shows up to move you, but here's the real secret. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. You can't avoid pain, but you can decide what it means. You can either let it chain you to the past, or you can let it launch you into your destiny. The difference between people who stay stuck and those who break through. They use the pain. They say, this is not happening to me. It's happening for me. They turn the pain into purpose. They turn wounds into wisdom. They turn scars into strength. I've coached people who lost everything. Marriages, money, health. And do you know what helped them rise? It wasn't a miracle. It was the moment they decided, this pain will not define me. It will refine me. Some of you listening right now, you're in pain. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you're broken inside, and you've been asking, why me? That's the wrong question. The question is, what is this trying to teach me? Because every time life pushes you to your knees, it's giving you the chance to rise stronger than ever. No one becomes unstoppable without walking through fire. Do you want a breakthrough? Then embrace the breakdown. Think about the gym. What happens when you lift heavy weights? Your muscles tear. They break down. That's pain. But it's in that pain that new muscle is formed. Strength is built through resistance. Your life works the same way. If you try to live without pain, you'll live without passion, without growth, without purpose. Comfort zones are beautiful places, but nothing ever grows there. Pain pulls you out of that zone and throws you into the arena of transformation. Listen, you don't have to love the pain, but you must love what it leads to, because on the other side of pain is power. On the other side of pain is a version of you that's unstoppable, a version of you that knows how to stand tall, even when life tries to crush you, a version of you that's been to hell and back, and came out stronger, wiser, more focused. Don't hide from your pain. Don't numb it. Don't deny it. Stand in front of it and say, you will not break me. You will build me. Because every great comeback story starts with pain. And if you're feeling it right now, then guess what? You're not at the end. You're at the beginning of something extraordinary. Use it, own it, grow from it. Because pain, my friends, is not a curse. Pain is a gift. Pain is not your enemy. It's your wake-up call. It shows you exactly where growth is hiding. When you feel pain, it's not a punishment from life or a sign of failure. It's a signal that something needs attention. Pain is information. It's your body, your mind, your spirit telling you, hey, look here, something's got to change. Most people try to numb it. They run from it, drown it in distractions, pretend it's not there. But pain doesn't go away when you ignore it. It festers, it multiplies, and eventually it screams. Now think about this. What happens when you touch a hot stove? Your nerves send a message. Pain, not because your body wants to hurt you, but because it wants to protect you. That pain is telling you to move your hand before damage is done. In the same way, emotional pain, mental pain, spiritual pain, they're all warning systems. They tell you when you're off course, when you feel stuck, unfulfilled, lost, anxious. That pain is a gift. It's revealing something deeper. Maybe you're not aligned with your values. Maybe you're stuck in a toxic environment. Maybe you're betraying your own potential. The pain shows up not to break you, but to invite you into a higher version of yourself. But here's the secret. Growth never happens in comfort. If you want to evolve, if you want to become more than who you are now, you've got to pass through pain. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly without breaking out of its cocoon. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Diamonds aren't formed without pressure. Every meaningful transformation is preceded by pain. You cannot become powerful if you keep hiding from your pain. You must confront it. You must listen to it. You must ask it, what are you here to teach me? Because when you do, pain becomes your guide. It becomes your compass. It points directly at the area in your life where your next breakthrough is waiting. But most people stay stuck because they misinterpret pain. They think pain means they're failing, so they quit, they avoid, they run. But the truth is, pain means you're growing. If you're uncomfortable, you're in the process. You're not going backwards. You're breaking through. It may hurt now, but one day you'll look back and say, that pain was the best thing that ever happened to me. Every breakthrough in your life will be preceded by a moment of pain. If you study anyone who has achieved greatness, you'll find a moment, a chapter in their life when they were broken, desperate, on the edge. That pain cracked them open. It forced them to evolve. You see, there is no triumph without trial. No elevation without challenge. The bigger your pain, the bigger your potential. Your pain is your preparation. It's the classroom where your next level is born. When you're in pain, it means the old version of you is dying. And that's a good thing, because you weren't born to stay the same. You were born to grow, to stretch, to shed the layers that no longer serve you. That process isn't comfortable. It's painful. But that pain is the fire that forges your next level. That pain forces you to let go of mediocrity, of excuses, of small thinking. It forces you to stop settling. It demands that you rise. You can't fake your way through pain. You can't bypass it with positivity or pretend it doesn't matter. You have to face it head on, because that pain you feel is tied to your purpose. It's not random. It's not meaningless. Every time you feel like you're about to break, life is trying to show you who you can become. It's trying to rip away the limitations you've clung to. It's burning away the illusions so you can finally see yourself clearly. Pain is not punishment. Pain is purification. So when you feel pain, don't just ask, why is this happening to me? Instead ask, what is this preparing me for? Because the version of you that will come out on the other side of this pain will be wiser, stronger, bolder, more focused. But only if you let the pain shape you. Pain forces clarity. It cuts through illusions and exposes the truth you've been avoiding. You can go your whole life pretending to be okay, smiling while you're dying inside, chasing distractions, performing for the world, but then pain comes along and says, no more lies, no more masks, let's deal with the real you. Pain brings you face to face with your truth. It strips you down, it shows you what really matters, it simplifies your life. When you're in pain, you stop chasing approval. You stop caring about the noise, you get real, and from that place of raw truth, you get the power to rebuild. Pain is the great clarifier. It shows you where your boundaries are being violated. It shows you what you've tolerated for too long. It shows you the people, habits, and beliefs that are draining your energy. It shows you where you've been living a lie. And once that truth is exposed, you can't go back to pretending. Pain forces you to look in the mirror, and yes, it hurts, but it also heals. Without pain, most people never change. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that crush them, and lives that feel fake. But when the pain gets intense enough, they move, they shift, they evolve, because now the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. That's the tipping point. That's where your power begins. When you're honest about your pain, you reclaim your power. You say, this hurts, this is real, and I refuse to stay here. You stop blaming and you start owning. You stop wishing and you start deciding. Pain reveals the truth, and truth gives you power. With truth, you can build something real. With truth, you can walk a path that actually fulfills you. But you can't get there if you're still numbing the pain. You have to feel it, you have to listen, you have to let it teach you. If you don't learn to use pain, pain will use you. Master your suffering or you'll become its slave. Pain is a powerful force. Left unmanaged, it will dictate your life. It will keep you stuck in cycles. It will make you bitter, fearful, resentful. It will have you reacting instead of creating. But when you learn to master pain, you rise above it. You use it. You harness its energy. You let it fuel your fire. That's when you become unstoppable. Pain will either shrink you or shape you. It will either make you a victim or make you a force. You decide. You decide whether it defines you or refines you. You decide whether it becomes your excuse or your edge. The people who live extraordinary lives don't live pain-free lives. They simply refuse to let pain win. They use it as leverage. They turn their wounds into wisdom. They turn their heartbreak into hunger. They take the fire and forge something extraordinary. You cannot avoid pain, but you can choose your relationship to it. You can choose to see it as a curse, or you can choose to see it as a calling. You can choose to let it hold you back, or you can choose to let it push you forward. Pain is part of life, but suffering, that's a choice. And when you stop resisting pain, when you stop trying to escape it, you gain access to an energy source that can change your entire life. Imagine if every time pain showed up, you leaned in, you said, thank you, teach me, show me what needs to change. Imagine if pain became your partner instead of your prison. That's mastery. That's emotional intelligence. That's what it means to take control of your life. The most powerful people in history turned pain into power. That's not luck. That's choice, mindset, and action. Think of every great leader, every great artist, every innovator, every warrior. What do they all have in common? They suffered, they lost, they failed, but they didn't stop there. They didn't let pain destroy them. They let it define them. They rose. They used the pain as fuel. They asked better questions. They demanded more of themselves, and they turned their pain into a platform for greatness. You are no different. Your pain is not pointless. It's the beginning of your power. It's the birthplace of your mission. The world doesn't need perfect people. The world needs people who have walked through the fire and come out with a message, with purpose, with clarity. People who say, I know what it means to hurt, but I also know what it means to heal. That's leadership. That's legacy, so don't hide your pain, don't apologize for it, own it, share it, let it become part of your story, because the moment you do, you give others permission to rise with you. Your pain can liberate others. Your healing can light the path for someone else. But first, you have to be brave enough to face it. Everything you want, confidence, strength, purpose, fulfillment, is on the other side of the pain you're avoiding. The question is, are you willing to go through it? Are you willing to stop running and start rising? Because if you are, then pain won't be your enemy. It will be your greatest gift. Thank you.